Guys, we got some breaking news coming out from Oracle. It looks like despite their mass layoffs, tens of thousands of people being laid off, it looks like they're not done. Oracle, the cloud infrastructure database and software giant, just sent out a memo just a couple of days ago to their managers, asking the managers to go ahead and assess who needs to go and who needs to stay. And there are reports, guys, that some of the departments within Oracle could see double-digit layoffs. Guys, they just got done firing 12% of their staff. And now they're looking at more cuts in more departments. And we're gonna kind of talk about some predictions at which departments are most at risk here during the video. But listen, guys, if you wanna stay up to date with what's happening in the job market, if you're a guy, if you wanna remain relevant, respected, financially free during the AI age, this is the time to hit the subscribe button and leave your comments below, guys. Great comments get pinned, and I've done that in the past. I'll do it in the future. Regardless, like typically, historically, when you see a lot of large layoffs coming back to back to back, you typically think, oh, this company's in trouble. They're entering their death knell, their death rattle. That is not what's happening at Oracle. In fact, this message comes off the tailwinds of huge growth during the 2026 fiscal year. They saw revenue grow by 17%. So in addition to growing revenue, in addition to laying off people, they're making tons and tons of money, although they also are spending tons of money. We're gonna cover that here in just a moment. It looks like when we look at where is the money coming from a big organization like Oracle, it's coming from cloud infrastructure and AI compute. And we've talked about this in past videos. There's a lot of companies that are building up software. I do marketing for a pretty nice sized software company doing about 4 million in ARR. We're seeing growth week after week, which is great. But what Oracle does and where they're seeing the most success is in selling the infrastructure in order for AI and software to actually operate. And again, it's not just the revenue gains, it's the massive cost cutting from labor. In May, they cut 13% of the company. Pardon me, I said 12% before. It's actually 13%, a little bit larger. It was about 21,000 jobs completely cut. They reduced their workforce from 162,000 to 141,000. They're flattening the organizational structure. They're getting leaner. And again, not something that is unique to Oracle. We've seen this in a number of tech companies. But the real story here, guys, I think isn't just siloed to job cuts or to revenue increases, but the combining both of them, because there is an insane demand for data centers and AI compute right now. It is crazy, the demand that we've got here. And Oracle sees that opportunity and they're seizing on it. And over the past fiscal year, they've spent over $55 billion on infrastructure. And despite generating $32 billion in operating cash flow, they actually lost over $23 billion in spending. So they're actually spending more than they're making. And I think quite frankly, what we can see from Oracle is they're playing the long game. They're playing the long game. They're building out all this infrastructure. They're investing in the infrastructure. And well, they're hoping and praying that it pans out. Like, what do you think? Do you think this is the right move to build out all this compute, all these data centers, all this infrastructure, and then go out and sell them? What do you think? Do you think that maybe while they're cutting their enterprise sales team now, they might go ahead and start building that back up once they have all these infrastructure in place? Do you think they'll need large enterprise sales teams? What do you guys think? How important do you think humans are going to be towards the growth of this company? I mean, they just shaved 13%. They're shaving another question mark percent. Some departments are going to be completely gutted. Do you think they're done? Do you think they're going to keep going? What is happening at Oracle? Is this the stock that we should be buying now? These are the questions that I'm kind of analyzing, thinking about. And then I start looking at, well, who is being laid off? And what does that say to me about where my skill set is in the market? So at Oracle, what we've been seeing is that the main place we're seeing layoffs are in traditional software development, sales, operations, customer support, Oracle Health. They all saw large cuts. And if you're still in one of those roles in the company, I'd say that's a pretty sketchy place to be in. Again, sales, ops, customer support. We covered this a couple days ago, where there are predictions that we're gonna see over 8 million customer service reps completely canned here over the next 3 years. I'll post a link to that video here because I think it's really shocking. And by the way, just to address that just for a moment, a lot of people seem to think like, well, I hate speaking to robots, but I gotta say, man, a lot of customer service reps out there are just not that effective at their jobs. And, you know, if a robot can get the job done quicker and easier and more rapidly, then I'm all for it. And I've given, you know, go watch that video. I think we can dive deeper into that role. Not to say that humans don't have value, but what we do need to think about is, where does my value shift? Where are my skills at now? Where do my skills need to be at to stay relevant? This is something that I think I've been thinking a lot about recently. Anyway, where are the jobs being created at Oracle? We've seen where the jobs are being deleted. Where are the jobs being created at? Well, we see cloud engineers, AI science, data centers, networking, construction. These are all high demand. You know, I put up a poll the other day, and by a large margin, everyone felt that electricians were the best positioned in this new economy. And I think I totally agree with that. I mean, just getting your hands down, knowing how to run electricity, knowing how to build infrastructure, that is not going anywhere. And you know, honestly, I think it's kind of an exciting time to be an innovator, to be a builder, to be a creator. It's never been easy. I was just on a call earlier today, and one of the team members was sharing how he created an entire dashboard by connecting Claude Cowork via MCP to some various softwares. He was able to create entire dashboards custom for companies in just a couple hours. And I think that's kind of exciting. In a way, it's kind of scary because we don't know exactly where that's going to go. But the reason I bring this up is that, like, evolving your skills and building new things, it's kind of an exciting time, you know. And listen, you can't have courage without fear. I tell that to my kids all the time. Anyway, let's get back to the story here, because, you know, even at Oracle, we see that jobs are being eliminated, other jobs are being started and hired. And the reality is, guys, we're going to see a fundamental shift. We're already seeing a fundamental shift in the needs at companies. And right now, we're seeing it very focused on tech. Tech is where all the layoffs are happening. And AI is the #1 reason for layoffs so far this year. 24% of layoffs this year have been attributed to AI. We covered this in a video yesterday. I'll post a link to that here. If you want to know exactly what's happening in the job market, you should check out that video. But the reality is that what's happening in tech is going to trickle down into every organization. Tech companies are first because that's where AI is having the biggest impact. But as these tools get sorted out, as the problems start getting more and more solved, that those problems and solutions are going to trickle down to every organization. Like, again, if you see Salesforce using tons and tons of AI agents to manage customer service, as they get better at it, it's going to trickle down to other organizations, right? How many big companies use Salesforce? I used to work at State Farm. We use Salesforce there. If you think the agents are working really well for Salesforce specifically, don't you think that those tools, those learnings are going to get absorbed by all the large enterprises that use Salesforce? I mean, it seems obvious to me that that would happen. It seems obvious that that would happen. And again, you know, on top of, like, evolving your skill set, using these tools, which is, I think, fundamental, build up your resume, build up your relationships, build up your personal brand. That's where my head's at. That's what I'm working on. And I just want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think I'm off base? What do you think about this Oracle move? How many people are going to be fired? Where are they going to be fired? What jobs are going to be relevant? And then, you know, how are you using these tools? Leave a good comment below. If it's great, I'll pin it. If you want to go to the next level, you can join the community, free for the first 30 days. And I want to hear from you. It just gives me a better way of connecting with you, sharing your thoughts, giving you custom videos. Click the link below to join that. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching, and have a blessed day. See you, boys. Peace.